All right, from the looks of things, it looked like it's live and in the house tonight. Let me get a little media music going right here so we can get a little background going. My man Jonathan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Good,
How are
good.
you?
I'm doing excellent. Give me a couple of minutes here, and we're gonna do a little brief intro about you, about what we're here for tonight, and make this thing happen. Because I'm excited to have you in the house, man.
I'm glad to be here.
He had me a little nervous there, ladies and gentlemen. I was wondering was the brother gonna show up tonight. I said, did he get some ants in his pants or something? Yes, sir. I know you're busy, man. I know how it is. No doubt. So listen, I'm gonna make it official. Welcome to the GG Factor. Every single week of my life, I want to try to be here on Tuesday nights to inform you, to inform you, to inform you, to inspire you, to inspire you, to inspire you, to empower you. Give you information that'll help you take your life to the next level in mind, body, and spirit. The gentleman tonight I'm talking about is so special to me because the organization he represents, I grew up in that organization, so I'm not going to take a whole lot of time tonight. He had a little fire to put out in the club. He told me everything's all right tonight. So while without ado, I want to make sure we stay a little bit on point. We're not looking pretty bad at all, man. I want to take it easy because we're on our own clock. As long as everybody out there understand that sometimes things happen and we just deal with them. So, Jonathan, I'm going to shut my music down right here and I'm going to turn it over to you for a minute. And I'm going to ask you my first question tonight because, that's the one that's loaded. First and foremost, man, Jonathan, how you doing, man?
I am doing well. I can't complain. I won't complain. God is good. I'm grateful.
No doubt. Absolutely. I love that kind of mindset. And we do know that mindset is everything. And, I looked over your little synopsis you gave me, the little bio that I have been asking for, and you finally popped it on me, and I'm glad you did. But I love what you're talking about. He's a man of God, three beautiful daughters, wonderful wife. He's got his graduate degree, his bachelor's degree, at Broward College. He's been really doing his thing here in South Florida. He's been involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs as a director of Boys and Girls Clubs of Broward County. I want to make sure I micromanage that correctly. And he's been in that capacity for a couple of years. He's in the Davie location. I met him at the Fort Lauderdale location right down the street from my church that I attend there, an unconditional plug. Dr. Reverend Marcus Davidson there at Mount Olive. Oh, wonderful organization to go and grow. I will tell anyone, get up on Sunday morning, go get that message. It's a game changer. And I thought about you. I went to a meeting with Reverend Kennedy and I left. And the day that I met you, my spirit spoke to me and said, stop by and see if the director's in. And you and I both know it was perfect timing. Yes, so my first question to you tonight, while everything's nice and quiet, what is your WHY, Mr. Thomas? Why did you elect to say, I want to be the guy that can run a boys club and boys and girls club? I'm used to saying boys club because
absolutely.
I grew up in the 60s, 70s. I was in the boys clubs. I did a little work too, man. I found out that in 1860, Jonathan, this blew me away. The first club, 1860, a lady named Elizabeth and a couple of her friends who were sisters. And just interestingly enough, ladies formed the boys club.
Right.
And it's like I said, wow, that was a game changer. Then I fast forward, I recognized what was going on down in Boston. I did a little work about the club. I wanted to make sure that I understand that, wow, but I was honestly, can I speak seriously, blown away when they said 1860.
Yeah.
That's before they ended slavery, man. I mean, come on now. We got to get a little deeper. That's way back in the day. And let's fast forward. Here we are right now, a little kid like me growing up, Tampa, Florida, man. I go to the boys clubs. My mom had no way to get me a babysitter. And I'm just telling you, man, I'm going to get your why. Then I'm going to tell you my why. But right now, I want you to go ahead and tell us, what is your why for being there right now?
So I would have to say that for a long period of time, I grew up single mother, raising me and my brother on a fixed income. And I don't know if not a lot of people know that, but that was something that she would often say, a fixed income. And so that was one of the things that that was a struggle for us, but also a benefit, right? But one of the things that I did have, while I didn't have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of resources, didn't have a lot of things, I had a lot of people. right? I had a lot of people. I'm a product of the saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
Hello.
And I grew up in the city of Dania Beach, and I had a village. I had people, whether it was the storehouse man down the street, whether it was the crossing guard, or whoever it was people who saw me, saw value in me, saw enough in me to just share a good word, to encourage me. Hey, young man, keep your head up, or whatever the case may be. And so because I'm a product of that village, it has always been my passion and my desire to be what others were to me. So to be that comforter, to be that encourager, to be that pusher, to be that cheerleader, but also to be that disciplinarian. To be that one that says, hey, you're headed down the wrong road. Let's refocus. Let's reshape. Let's rethink these things, because it's not easy growing up in the projects. It's not easy growing up without a father or those things. But when you have people who believe in you and will push you and won't allow you to settle, it allows you to become who it is that God intended for you to become. And so the reason my why is being what others were to me. So every day I get the opportunity to pour into a young man, to pour into a young lady, to help them to become, to inspire them to, a lot of the times, a lot of teachings are just being a role model, being a presence. And so I get to be that for young kids ages 6 to 18. And so it's a blessing, and it's an opportunity that I do not take lightly.
Oh, God, man, I just hear you. I resonate with you, man. God, first and foremost, bless you.
Yeah.
You know, because you said so many things that I can echo right back. I didn't meet my father until I was 50 years old.
Wow.
My mother had 5 children. I was in the middle of all 5 of us. And I did have and still have my 83-year-old brother who was like a dad. So I'm going to say, I always give him an unconditional plug. Dear God, thank you for Nelson Griffith, because he was the father figure around. He was the one that went away to college, and he went to FAMU, and I decided I was going to go to FAMU. I was a 6-year-old, and my brother was 18, went to college, and he would come home and come to Tampa, Florida, and there was a little place like Sistrunk that's in Fort Lauderdale. It's called Central Avenue in Tampa, Florida, and every time I go down on Sistrunk, it just reminds me of home, because, you know, that's like the Black Wall Street of Fort Lauderdale there, you know? Yeah. And, man, let me tell you something. I will say what you just said, man, is just priceless. And my brother, I want to say this to you. Thank you. Thank you so much that you share a story that will inspire and empower people. That if you look at the banner right there, it says the GG Factor Show, inspire and empower. And what you've just done right now, I don't know how many people are listening. I don't care who's listening, but for all those episodes that'll still be here, this one will always be, because you spoke truth, man. It took the village.
Yeah.
It took the village. And now the village for me became the boys club as a kid. See, so to really just piggyback off what you're saying and speak truth to it, that place was my safe haven. That's why I said I will give you your why, then I'll tell you my why. And oh boy, we're just like this, man. I didn't know my dad till I was 50. I was lucky enough to have one older brother, 3 sisters. My older sister, who's older than all of us, she's going on to glory. My 2 younger sisters are still here with us, Ruby Baker and Linda Baker. They're still here. And here's the point. Let me tell you something, man. When I discovered the boys' clubs were probably about 5th grade, 6th grade, I'm going to say, I remember I was very young. I was going through that in my head about what grade was I in? But it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Yeah. What was so pertinent was that my mom had to work every day. She didn't get home till 5 or 6 in the evening. And, you know, I could walk to the boys' clubs. I was one of those fortunate kids that it was walking distance. I didn't need a car to take me there, pick me up. And sometimes I even rode my little bicycle, man. But I knew that it was there for me. And we in Ybor City had a huge property even back then, man, in the 60s. Big, beautiful gymnasium, a swimming pool right next door to us, a big field for football. So for me, man, I was so excited to have you here tonight and tell you that what you're doing, the job you have, there was a guy named Richard Summerlin and Arthur Dabney. Let me tell you something, my brother. I can't remember all my teachers' names. I cannot remember all of them, but I will not forget Richard and I will not forget Arthur. They were like dads to me, man.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. About 15 years after I got out of Tampa, went away, got my degree from FAMU, and came back, and something inside of me said, man, let me just go by the club and see what's going on with the boys' clubs. And I walked in, man, and I asked them about Richard. Richard wasn't there, but he was at another club, just kind of like what you just went through. I met you at Fort Lauderdale, now you're over in Davie. And here's the point I'm making. I said, can you get him on the phone for me? I want to talk to Rich. I just want to hear his voice, because you're talking like 15 years, man. And I got on the phone, and the lady said, hey, here's Richard Summerlin. He's the director over there at Innovate now. He wants to speak to you. Gregory wants to speak to you. When I said to him, Richard, how you doing, man? I said, I don't know if you're, he said, Gregory, you really think I can forget you? And let me tell you something, man, he spoke truth to it.
Yes, sir.
He spoke truth to it. So all I say to you is that I wanted to share my story. I want to let you know that you are an icon in what you do, because you said it. You said you wanted to pour in what was poured into you. And let me tell you something. That man, Richard Summerlin, Arthur Dabney, when I was playing basketball, he used to be a basketball coach himself in high school. He came with us at night. So, you know, and my mom, man, she worked job here and then left that job and went to another one. And we just felt safe, man. Even if we had to walk home some nights and make sure somebody was going to make sure we got home the way we should, it was a blessing, brother. So for you to be here with us tonight and for you to just tell your story like that, man, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows why I reached out for you to say, I want you to share your story because it's powerful. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, I gave you some Q&As, man. So one of my other questions for you, and I'm going to ask you, we'll say, get ready to it. What is the mission of the Boys Clubs? What is truly the mission? I want you to give a definitive answer to that for me.
Sure. Sure thing. The mission of the Boys and Girls Club, the big part that stands out to me, and I'll get the actual mission, but one of the parts that stand out to me, because people ask all the time, right? Hey, is the Boys and Girls Club just for, you know, underprivileged youth? Is it just for those bad kids, or whatever the case may be? One big part of the mission is that Boys and Girls Club is here for those who need us the most, right? So whether that is, and I think my wife and I talk about this all of the time, because the truth of the matter is you can grow up in a 2-parent household and still need that village.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. So a lot of the times people put a stigma on who the Boys and Girls Club is for, but I would venture to say, based on our mission, that it's for those who need us the most. And so a big part of that is just reaching out to being a safe haven, like you said, to being a safe haven, to being a place where you can not only just play, right? And I know a lot of the times in 1816, from 1816 up until 2025, the Boys and Girls Club, the reason it has stayed around this long is because it continued to evolve, right? Like you said, when you were introduced to it, it was the Boys Club. But then it, just as its mission says, for those who need us the most,
right?
It became the Girls Club, right? Boys and Girls Club. So the full mission is to enable young people, especially those who need us the most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring citizens.
I love it.
We're here not just for that low income family, but we're here, doesn't matter what tax bracket. And I love the club that I'm at now in Davie, like you alluded to earlier, because we see all demographics, right? It's not just Black and brown kids. It's different demographics of kids from different areas, from different walks of life, from different tax brackets.
Yes.
But all of them need that village.
Yes.
You was talking about Mr. Richard, right? One of the most powerful quotes that I love says that people will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
I love it.
And so we talk about it at the Boys and Girls Club, giving our club members that experience, right? Yes. And we never know. You never know what kind of kid you're going to meet. You never know what they just dealt with at home. You never know what they're dealing with at home, right? And so even for me, I don't remember all my teachers, right? But I remember those people who made an impact on my life.
You, man. Yes, sir.
And here's the beautiful thing about it is that it doesn't have to be for a year that you've known them.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a enormous impact in a short amount of time, right? So the Boys and Girls Club of Broward County is doing just that. Every day we're making that impact. We don't see them for a long period of time, but for that short period of time, we're making a huge impact on those children.
That is excellent, man. You know, wow, you hitting home with the right stuff here, man. It is so good. Now, the hours, well, first and foremost, let's make sure we go ahead and quantify it.
Yeah.
They started letting girls come into the club back in 1990. You know, I did my little work now. I'm letting you know. They started letting girls, because, you know, when I wasn't really attached to the club anymore and just living my life, and then I looked up one day and I saw Boys and Girls Clubs.
Yeah.
You know, and I was wondering, what's the etiology of that? When did they just, and you just, in your answer about your mission, you just gave a great reason why. You said all kids.
Yeah.
Now, it would be very interesting to do this. You said the ages of 6 to 18. Am I correct on that? As far as the youngest to the cap out age.
Yes, sir.
So they do cap out at 18. So when they leave high school, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but after they leave us, we would have given them enough to be successful.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. I think that's an excellent, should I say, just cohort of people that you can get in that age group. And you mentioned something that I wanted to piggyback off you also. Even back then in the 60s and 70s, when, you know, I don't have to talk to you about racism in this country, you know, it was, we're still dealing with some fragile times right now, my brother.
Absolutely.
But at the very end of the day, that was beautiful about our club also in Ybor City. Across the street from me were Puerto Ricans. 2 doors down were Caucasians, obviously Black people. And the projects was, I might as well say I lived in the projects. I could walk 1 block, turn left to the corner store. You know what went down at the corner store? And
Absolutely.
honestly, I was right in the hub. I was there. So you are right, man. And everybody in the neighborhood went to the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now let me ask you a question about this, because I think it was one of those questions I had in questions and answers about the competitive nature of the sports programs. Do y'all do the same things that we did back then? Are all of the clubs somewhat competing with each other, or do they go out in the community? Kind of give us a little update, because a lot of people say something that they think is existing is an obscurity, and you brought it to light. You are more than just a sports place. You are more than just a place to go and, let's go have some fun and play and hang out. Of course, don't get me wrong. That's a big component, because you've been in school all day. I love when I walked into the boys clubs, I learned to play pool, man. I learned when I walked into boys clubs, I learned to play ping pong. You know, I learned how to play basketball better, become a better football player, and more important, cooperative group learning.
Yeah.
There's something about people who synergize and have, like you say, an adult over us that was more like another father figure, man. And the fact that I didn't have a lot of those around me, man, it was priceless, you know. So you said all the things that I really want to hear about your mission, what you're doing, what the ages are. The girls started in 1990, and you know,
so I have one of my colleagues on, and she just she's a director at the Carver Ranches location. But she was telling me that based on it, in 1990, the girls were coming before that, but it was in 1990 that they changed the name, because the Boys and Girls Club is evolving, and they're seeing there's a need for girls to be there, right? In 1990 is when they changed the name, but the need was already there.
Oh, it was already there. But now, are you saying the need was there, or they were already accepting them that were prior to the name being changed? So in all actuality, quantitatively speaking, they actually had an etiology that goes earlier than 1990.
Yes,
that is excellent. Well, listen, all I'll say to you is this, you know, the club is there. It's a beautiful place. You know, I found out another stat, and I like to do this because those who are listening and watching will know this. 4 million members, 4 million kids are going into boys and girls clubs around the United States, in all 50 states, military bases, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands. Man, let me tell you something. When I realized that, and then here's the interesting thing that happened. I just got back maybe about 6-7 months ago. I did a showcase for colleges. And who do I meet there? Of all the people who invited me to come to their college, it was Fort Knox Army Base. And guess what? They were affiliates to a boys club. I didn't go do the keynote because it was storms. The weather was just because they were scheduling me back in January, and we rescheduling another date. Let it be God's will. But the point is, of all the clubs and all the people I could meet, I met someone whose was their organization, their military base was a close affiliate with the boys clubs. You know, I didn't know that.
Wow.
I had no idea that the clubs and the Army bases would have these relationships like that. So to our listeners and viewers, we're just saying to you that this is a powerful organization. This organization has just done so much. You know, you're making me think about a lot of things about people who take things for granted, but I'm glad that you're here. One thing I heard that happened with the Boys and Girls Clubs that wasn't really happening in my day, and I'd like for you to elaborate a little bit. It's about apprenticeship, about the reality of how they're partnering in the community now. Could you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Absolutely. So one of the things that the club started to see, the Boys and Girls Club of Broward County, and we are recognized for being taking the lead in this initiative, which is bringing teen centers. Right. Mm-hmm. Because we've seen Boys and Girls Club of Broward County has seen that we're losing youth after 12. They're wanting to kind of stay home, play video games and all of that, not really wanting to come to the club.
Wow.
So we've taken the initiative to begin to build teen centers in Broward County, teen centers that allow those apprenticeship opportunities to give the youth that are coming more than just pool tables, more than just ping pong tables, but give them an opportunity to really evolve into an adult and take on those opportunities in the workforce, in the career. So there are so many career readiness programs. There are so many apprenticeship programs that just being a club member, and we didn't talk about the fee, which is just $15 for the entire year.
Oh,
but
wow.
You're able to take advantage of
that again, man. Wait a minute. You telling me $15?
$15 for the entire year. Yeah.
Wow.
And they're able to take advantage of workforce development opportunities. Some of our members just had an opportunity for Bank of America interns, general construction. There's so many. And our admin team, our team is constantly getting new partnerships with different businesses, and they're able to those members, because sometimes college isn't for everyone, right? But they go directly into that workforce. They do construction and all of those things. And there's so many opportunities.
You know something, man? You don't know a whole lot about me, but I'll share because it concurs with what you're talking about. I'm a retired special needs teacher.
Wow.
31 years with special needs kids in high school. So what we did is exactly what you're talking about. We called it the PASS program. Post-adult school secondary system that we had there. And the post-adult secondary schools program would create partnerships in the community. And that was one of my jobs. I did that program for, Miriam, how many years? Was about 6 or 7 years? I think, and I met my wife at that high school, and we worked in that program together. And let me tell you something, what you're talking about is priceless, because you said something critical, and I want everybody to hear that. Everyone is not college material. Mm-hmm. It's just that's the reality check. And we need the entry-level worker. Yeah. We need the guy who can be a mechanic, the guy who can clean pools, the guy who can be a chef in a restaurant. All of those services would never, ever go away. No robots are taking over that. You see, there's some jobs that are die hard and they're not going to take over, just like being a teacher to me. I don't care what they say. The human factor will never, ever be replaced by some robotics. And the point I'm making now is this. her name, and I give her a shout out right now. You know, Miss Mola, Gwendolyn Mola, who's the Sheridan Vocational School, should I say, director over there,
Okay.
assistant director. I'm not going to put her. I think she's assistant director, but she was my assistant principal at my school where I did my last 11 years of West Briar High before I actually left the system, and she got that position. And when I got to meet with her, sit down with her, talk with her about the power of, you knew it already, but when you get someone who's micromanaging now, they're on the inside, what you all doing sounds like it concurs with that kind of program that you're a feeder. Now, you said something, I want to ask you the question. You said you have teen centers right now. Can you clarify on that? Are those just facilities now that the Boys and Girls Clubs have that only teenagers go to, not under the ones who are like 6 to, what would they start at, like 13 or 14 or just high school level for the teen centers?
Yeah, so our teen centers start at ages 13 and it goes to 18. So this is, so for instance, the location that you came to in Fort Lauderdale. So we opened our teen center next to the building. So there's many of them are adjacent or connected to one of our standing clubs. But this is a whole nother facility where it is just for teens, where we're able to do those programs. They have the same setup, all of those things. And the teens are able to come in there and have their own space, because a lot of it was, once you get 13, 14, you don't really want to be considered a kid anymore. You're kind of a teenager and you're running into your young adult time. And so they kind of heard that this was the desire from a lot of our teens that, hey, I don't want to come to the club because it's for the kids. And now I'm a teen. So, okay, we don't want you on the street. We don't want you getting involved in certain things. So we're not only helping the crime rate, we're not only helping parents, but we're also developing those young people. So you're not just coming here, sitting down and chilling. No, we tell them all the time, we're not babysitters. This is a child development center where we're here to intentionally grow you, develop you, and get you ready for real life.
Oh, no, that is really excellent, man. You know, the fact that, you know, because it's such a heterogeneous group of people, and the diversification, it really it becomes a tug of war with how to really facilitate the services in a manner that everyone feels they're getting an equal share of what should come to them. Now, you mentioned something, and I don't know if you can micromanage this conversation a little bit better for me regarding the delivery of the services. Say from an academic perspective, are there tutoring things going on? Are there just things going on in sports? Are there things going on in home economics, technology? Could you kind of give us an overview of what happens with those kids who are 13 to 18 and they're coming into a need of what I just mentioned to you? How's that facilitated, or do you on that level in that capacity?
Absolutely. So we have, I believe, 6 teen centers, and my colleagues that are on, they can kind of help me out. But we have 6 teen centers, right? And so they specialize in different things. So for instance, we have a Fort Lauderdale Teen Center that has a full culinary program. We have Fort Lauderdale in Nanox, which is our Fred DeLuca Teen Center. We have a full aviations program where
whoa hey my brother, that's deep.
Yes, sir.
You know, just to come down to basic terms, that is very, very powerful. Woo! I know I'm off the chain and I'm a little crazy, but man, wow.
Yeah. So there's so many, and whatever as we continue to build teen centers, we're continuing to add. So whether that's robotics, whatever that is, if there's a desire with our young people that say, hey, and they're able to be in the beginning stages of what those teen centers look like. So our co-CEOs, they come down, and our marketing team and all those, they want to come down and find out, what do you want in your teen center? And so they're able to kind of mimic and to the best of our ability, and thanks to our donors, are able to kind of build teen centers that are friendly to the teens. That those programs are there. We hire professionals to come in, for instance, during the school year and during the summer. Some of our programs, even during the summer, have extra learning. So we call it Summer Most. It's maximizing out of school time.
Because you got more hours. You got the
So they're
hours.
able to prevent that landslide or that slide in education where during the summer they're not really academically focused. So we give them field trips, we give them this, but we're also giving them under the table. They're able to pick up on their reading and math skills. So the club offers so much. And just to think that it's only $15 commitment, but it's offering you, as I was looking, right? So it's $15 that we charge the parent, but technically for each child is like $1,000 membership based on the services and all of the things that they're
giving. And now, speaking of that, you're a nonprofit organization. Am I correct? Right? Okay, so at the end of the day, obviously, a lot of corporations are making donations that are write-offs for them. Let's speak business right now. So at the end of the day, and obviously, so I'll put it out there also, you all take donations from anyone, anywhere, not just corporate America. So if you're feeling motivated tonight, if you're feeling like this really works for you, Jonathan, make sure that every time I say Jonathan, I think of my son because his name is Jonathan. I have two sons, my two boys, Greg Jr., Jonathan, and my granddaughter Alyssa. But when I say Jonathan, I'm thinking him, man. And I tried to get him to get into something like this. But by the time he got around, they had a different situation going on, But here's the point I want to make to you, man. I need to know that the services, you can some kind of way put in a chat. You can let people know if they want to make a donation or if they want to find out where's the best club for them or anything like that. And you send me everything I need to do. And what I'll do post this episode is to post it in the descriptor there for this episode. So for as long as we can keep it there, and that's all on me. And this one will be forever because it's so powerful. I had no idea that the level of expertise brought in. And you're right. I look so much forward to the summer school sessions when I was a kid because we had nothing to do, and all I had in my house back then, God bless my mom, she did the very best she could, was an old black and white TV with a hanger in it, and I'm sure
you got to move every once in a while.
Right. And man, there was no internet. There were no iPhones. There was nothing but, and something, and I'm the author of two books that are behind me. And I guess at this point, we've been talking about a good 20, 25 minutes. I guess I'll give an unconditional plug. I put in the chat over there the links because what you spoke about is mentorship. What you spoke about is personal empowerment. What you spoke about is personal development. I'm offering a 50% off right now. If someone wants to come into my Strive master classes that are every Thursday night at 7 o'clock, you'll get a copy of one of these books. You'll get me every month for 30 minutes. You got me every week on Thursdays. And I just want you to know there's normally $97 a month. I have a Get Activated special community Stripe link there that you can come into now. If you want more of what I'm doing on Thursday nights, you can join the 30 Days to New You MPC, which is Maximum Potential Coaching. So I want to let everyone know that, of course, we're on the GG Factor tonight, but every Thursday night, I'm about what Mr. Thomas is talking about: personal development, self-esteem development, finalizing who you are to activate your true identity, defining yourself for success. Because you see, apples don't fall far from the trees. And all you need to do is be the right kind of seed. I'll say that again. Apples don't fall far, from the trees. You need to be a good seed. Today we watched the butterfly come out of the chrysalis. My wife actually witnessed it just come out of the chrysalis. And the point I'm making to all of that is this. Of course, an egg is dropped. It becomes a caterpillar. But then it becomes the chrysalis. And when it becomes a chrysalis, what does it do, Jonathan? It just goes inside because the seed is planted. The only difference between us is just like, we have to plant the seeds. And it sounded to me, man, like you are on the right path. I'm excited about it. And speaking of mentorship, that is why I said, if you want to come in and take my 30, 60, 90-day challenge, all you have to do, the links are right there. Just take one of those links, click the one that works for you. If you want me for, like I say, really micromanaging you, I'd love to be there for the 30 Days to New You MPC, which is Maximum Potential Coaching. I've had mentors for most of my adult life, and I can honestly say they have been priceless to me. I probably wouldn't even be on this YouTube show right now if it wasn't for one of the mentors. Unconditional plug to Brendan Boyd for what he's done to just say to me, I think you can do this. I think you should do it. You're a great personality. You got the right ideal people around you. And you know something, man, this has been exciting. And you're a classic example of that. And you know something, Jonathan, I want to say this to you with all due respect. Boy, I wish we could add more people and more clubs because they're needed. You said something critically important. School's out. The kids are on the video games. They're living a very organized chaos sort of lifestyle. In other words, by default, this is what they do. And they do it, and the pendulum starts to sway so far that they get out of shape physically. They do not grow spiritually. Their cognitive abilities decline. Because see, when we were kids, you know, I'm obviously a lot older than you, but when I was kids, there was none of that. We had to get
no other choice.
Yeah, we had to go to the playgrounds. We had to go to the summer programs. We had to find and be creative about things to do. And in my book, in the first book, The Activator Stagnate, I wrote about that. The difference in the kids now versus the difference in the kids in the 60s and 70s and what they had to do versus what you have access to. And to me, I hate to say it, as much as technology is helping us, there's a hindrance there.
Absolutely.
Obscurely under it all. Kids don't even have to remember nearly as much. They just dump it in their phones. Everything they want to do now. Back then, man, I even bought it for my son, a big Encyclopedia Britannica, a library of stuff. Matter of fact, some of those old books, I refuse to throw them away. I still have them, a few of them. I just say no. And when I looked in this sort of wealth of knowledge, I say no way. So what you guys are doing, you said you got culinary, you said aviation, you got technology. I want all our listeners to know that tonight, that this is great. And you mentioned mentorships. That is the only reason why I piggyback off you the opportunity to come into our camp. So the only other thing I think I can talk to you about tonight, man, that I don't think I mentioned to you, I'm looking through my list of Q's and A's, is I know you got the sports programs. How many clubs in the areas are literally competing with each other? I wanted to know on what level. And one thing I found out too, and I'll share it while we're talking about numbers, I didn't know that there are 50,000 people employed as staff members for the Boys and Girls Clubs. That's that now you're giving me the inside scoop. You're micromanaging me and telling me that's why all of these different things that you're offering. See, none of that exists when I was a kid.
Yeah.
All glory to God that the program didn't die. It continues to grow. You know, and I'm sure you've heard of Best Buddies, man. And it reminds me so much of what Best Buddies is doing with kids. The same thing on another level as far as a peer kid who's a Gen Ed kid, peering with a kid with disabilities in the area that I'm in. So, yeah, man, go ahead and talk to us about that in terms of the things that you're saying, that you know that the programs are there. You know they're offered to you guys, and how do they get in touch with you? You can even put a verbal little shout out there right now if you want to on your club, your location, because we're getting down close to wrapping up. But I want to make sure you have that opportunity to put that plug in.
Absolutely. And to answer your question, yes, we still compete, club versus club. We have friendly competition with our members, with our directors. So we do all of that. Soccer is one of the things that we do, basketball, football, flag football, of course. But we do so many sports things. As I said, we have 16 campuses. We have 16 campuses in Broward County.
That was my question. I didn't know how many. So that's the big cohort.
Yeah.
That cohort, just that group, that's a lot of competition.
We're the largest in Florida.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
This county?
Yes, Broward County Boys and Girls Club is the largest in Florida.
Didn't know that, my brother. Didn't know that. Wow, Mr. Thomas, that speaks volumes.
Yes, sir.
You know,
so we're doing amazing things. I'm at now Davie. So Rita and Rick Case Boys and Girls Club in the city of Davie. So currently, a lot of our clubs are full on membership, but there are some. So I would encourage you that this is the beginning of summer. There's so many things happening in the world. It would be a beautiful thing to have your young people, whether that's your nephew, your godson, your goddaughter, pour into them and make this investment into them, and you will not regret it. As we said, it's only $15 for the entire school year. Yes. There are Boys and Girls Clubs all the way from the furthest in the south is the Cava Ranches Boys and Girls Club. And then the furthest in the north, we go as far as Deerfield Beach. So there are clubs all stretched across from east to west, north to south of Broward County. So you can look up a club there is nearest to you. We drop the link there. There are always volunteering opportunities. One of the things that our team says is that some can give money, some can give time, whatever your talent is, whatever your treasure is, whether that's money, whether that's resources. We have tons of people that say, hey, I got an old PS5, I got an old Xbox, I got this that my kid isn't using anymore. Can I drop it off to the Boys and Girls Club? Absolutely. So whatever you have, a lot of our clubs, if you connect with the director, we can pick up some things or whatever. And then there's times where you can drop some off. Or if you say, hey, I want to sponsor 5 kids or 10 kids, I want to pay that membership, and you give that to the director. And we have families that come in all the time. Maybe it's one parent with 1 kid that can't afford it, or maybe it's a parent with 5 kids that want all 5 of them but only can afford 4, right? And so we're able to allocate those funds to that family. So there's tons of ways to help. As you said, we're a nonprofit, so we benefit off of the generosity of others. So I'm so privileged, and I'm thankful and grateful for this time to connect with Mr. Griffin. Our campaign that we're launching now for Boys and Girls Club of America, Broward County is championing it as well. But we're looking for those people that have stories like yourself, that are a product of the Boys and Girls Club, that for whatever time frame you came by, but you were impacted by what we do at the Boys and Girls Club.
Doubt.
We want to share that story. So the slogan is America Needs Club Kids. And so just to hear about where a kid started and where they are now, to hear about the impact that they're continuing to make in society.
Oh, man, I applaud you, sir. I thank you so much for your service to our community. I thank you so much for just enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's just enlightenment about the next level of the clubs. You are on another level right now. You're opening new doors, and that was one of my questions there. And I think it was probably about the last one. What was the vision for the clubs? And the other question that we didn't address: are there partnerships with the teams and some of the high schools in the area in proximity? How you see, they need to know all of these kind of things, because that's opportunity that's lying obscured. We need to bring it to the surface. So could you I got the time. I don't mind going. I know we're going to wrap it up, but that's the kind of thing that our listeners, our viewers need to know. How does that work with the local schools, and what is the vision? Where are you looking down the road at?
I think the vision of our organization, Boys and Girls Club of Broward County, is continue to make an impact. So more impact, more clubs, more children. So as we continue to grow, continue to build clubs and to impact more cities, impact more areas in Broward County. There are cities that we aren't in, that we need to be in. For instance, Dania Beach, we didn't have a Boys and Girls Club growing up. And so wherever there isn't a Boys and Girls Club, I would encourage you to speak to your city officials, your elected officials, and say, hey, we need something like the Boys and Girls Club in our city. So the vision is to continue to grow, more impact, more kids. And so additionally, to answer your other question what was your other question? I missed it. I forgot.
Well, the local schools that you're
so the local schools, right?
So mostly the high schools. Well, actually, I shouldn't say just high schools, because there is that heterogeneous group of kids from. How about it? Are you partnering elementary, middle, high?
Absolutely. We're partnered with all schools, not just Broward County public schools. We're partnered with charter schools. We're partnered. Matter of fact, I just had a private school meeting with the principal, just seeing how we can get their kids from their school after school to our club. So there's a partnership there, because we see the same kids, we're dealing with the same things. And just to provide that service for those parents who say, hey, I got to work 3 and 4 jobs. So after school, I need somebody to get my kids. And the beautiful thing about that, and this is included in the $15, is transportation.
Look at that.
Each of our clubs pick up from certain schools. So for instance, my club, we pick up from 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. Depending on the club, they pick up from different places. Wherever there's a need, wherever we can maximize the amount of kids that we go, we will definitely get transportation to go there. And that is all inclusive in the $15. So many of our directors sit on the committees for the schools, the councils for the schools, so that we're able not to just get the kids, but we want to see how we can impact them. So, hey, we got a lot of our kids are struggling with learning or with reading at our school. Okay, so at the Boys and Girls Club, let's see how we can maximize that and continue the learning. So there's a partnership there.
Oh, so man, absolutely. This is so good. This is so good. And so it has to be a non-negotiable. That the fact that for $15, not even $1 a day, not even pennies, because you said that $15 is not an ongoing monthly thing. It's a one-time. Oh, man, come on, man. And I thought about it when you were saying kids, people who have 3 and 4 and 5 kids. Have you had experiences with, say, like maybe teenage mothers who are coming there, these young girls who've gone through a pregnancy and they obviously need assistance, and they look at this. They may be 18 and had a kid at 13 and 14 and still need some help. Because see, I've been there. I know what that's like. And you obviously want to say, would the club be there? Is the club working in that capacity? Do you have a sector that's dealing with them because once again, the other things that people don't see when you continue with just survival in life is dealing with your self-esteem. You're dealing with having to begin again. You're dealing with, and on top of that, beginning again now as a parent, a kid with a kid. And man, that is a challenge beyond reason. And honestly speaking, from what you're saying and what you all are doing right now, I will just say this to you, man. I know you already called me up and told me to come in. You want to hear my story on the micromanaged level in your offices. I'm looking forward to it. Yes. I always talk about Denzel Washington all the time about how much he was a national spokesperson because of obviously him being Denzel. But to me, man, I just want to be that kind of spokesperson for the clubs. Yeah. This is just a beginning for me. And when I go up to Tampa and I visit up again, I kind of open the dialogue up there with the you might know the club that's in West Tampa on Mike Deal Avenue there. That's the administrative hub. But in other words, because it's my hometown, I've definitely started to open up a narrative around how can I be of service? How can I make it work for them? How can I become with my books and be a keynote speaker for as what a role model for what we want to do and show people that, hey, 5 children, single parent, didn't meet my dad to 50, and hey, I don't think I done too bad, man. I give all glory to God that I did have my big brother, and I did meet my dad at 50 years old and had about 9 or 10 years of his life with me. He passed right before his 84th birthday, at his 84th birthday, and it was 87 on his 87th birthday, and my mom 2 days before 99. So, I got some genes in there telling me I might have a fighting chance. So I've enjoyed this tonight with you. To all people, know this. We are here to inspire you, empower you, to inform you, to educate you. And tonight, Mr. Thomas, I applaud you, and I'm going to do it physically that you brought it. And I know people now have an awareness, just like me, had no idea of the level of services, the minimal cost, and the maximum benefit of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Broward County, the largest organization in Florida. You're bigger than Miami. Yeah. I can't believe that. It's amazing. 50,000 people nationwide. Your Army bases, you're in Puerto Rico, you're in the Virgin Islands. So keep doing what you're doing. This platform is always open to you. If you decide you want to come back to promote whatever's going on because of when school starts in the fall and what you guys do in your after school programs, I'm here for you, man. Keep a brother in prayer that, that this platform will continue to grow, because I hope you got some value out of this tonight. Absolutely. Well, I think one of my colleagues are jealous, so we're gonna see if we can get her on the next one to promote her club. Oh, no doubt, man. So we'll look at our calendars and we'll put something on the calendar. I applaud you. Thank you so very much. And at the end of the day, man, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. You saw me wearing my God First hat. And you know, when you spoke with spirit, when I saw your little synopsis there, I applaud you, man. You keep doing what you're doing. Oh, I meant to ask you too, man. You said you got 3 daughters, right?
3.
I saw you said hashtag girl dad. And I saw that. I loved it. I said, you know, he got his hands full. What are the ages, man?
They are 4. Well, one just turned 5,
Okay.
4, and 1.
Oh boy, you in the trenches, Dad. You
Absolutely.
down. You and Mom working right now, man.
Absolutely.
5,
Yes,
4,
sir.
1. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you know what? Couldn't ask for a better foundation. And you know
Absolutely.
what we discussed tonight, and I'm gonna leave you with this. If they follow what you're doing, what we've done, both my sons are college graduates. I have a beautiful granddaughter, you know, and I've been through highs and lows, been through a divorce in my life, been in another beautiful relationship with my wife right now, and it's working. So be blessed until the next time. I'm going to say thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Well, I know he lost his screen right there, but I'm going to do this and call it a night tonight. This has been incredible. It brought back so many memories for me. So I always take my music and turn it back on before I say goodnight. One more unconditional plug. Every Thursday night, 7 o'clock, the Scribe Masterclass. It's all the way live. You can win a copy of this book or this book. Come on into our camp. All you have to do is DM the word Scribe on Instagram. DM the word Scribe on Instagram. And just click that link and you're in the house on Thursday nights. I call myself Gregory the Activator because my mission is to inspire, to empower the world. See you until the next time. Oh, Jonathan, man, you were so good. Boy, you enlightened me tonight. Yeah. Woo.